ResortLoop.com is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea, the official specialty coffee of Disney Parks. Hot, cold, light, or dark, savory or sweet, there is a Joffrey's coffee for every moment and mood, celebration, and season. You can find Joffrey's specialty coffee and drinks in the parks, at Disney Springs, and online at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The body of water that you see to the right of our forward motion is the Seven Seas Lagoon. The Seven Seas Lagoon is a man-made creation that took 3 years and the removal of millions of cubic yards of earth to complete.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com, and I'm thrilled and always happy to be joined by
his lovely wife, Dawn.
Now, this is actually a topic that you wanted to do a show on today, so I'm excited for this.
Thank you.
So what is our show going to be about today?
Well, I thought with most of the country on lockdown and most of the school children at home on homeschooling, I thought maybe since I'm a teacher that I could offer some tips on homeschooling, and maybe if we have questions that come in after the show, answer some questions and just kind of, help the parents out just a little bit and maybe give a perspective from a teacher on what to expect in the coming weeks.
I love it. Not so much a Disney show, but all the parents are home, the kids are home.
Right.
School must go on. Right. So I'm handing it over. Take it away.
Well, all right. We'll jump in any time, though.
I will.
So, an unprecedented time in our country, and our children are at home. And probably the first thing that I want parents to know, that I'm sure most of them know, is that as teachers, we are not happy. We are not happy to be without our kids. And
you were so sad.
I am. I'm having one of the best school years ever. I love my class this year. They were just the most amazing kids. They're awesome. And this is not the school year that I would have wished for this to happen, because we were on the tail end getting ready for state testing. And then after state testing, it's all, smooth sailing. We have our zoo trip and, our fun Olympic days and, just the fun stuff. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But anyway, here we are. So school districts, across the state and across the country are all under different circumstances.
Yes.
Some school districts have one-to-one technology, so their kids were sent home with Chromebooks. Mm-hmm. Some districts are not like that, so they're going to be homeschooling very differently. And how each school district does that is very, very different. So in my district, we were very, very lucky. We have one-to-one technology from 5th grade through 12th grade. Then our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders technically have their own Chromebook, but it's kept in the classroom. So our technology team mobilized very quickly, got those computers assigned to our kids, and our kids were able to take them home. So our students do have from 2nd grade through 12th grade Chromebooks home with them, which has made our job significantly easier.
That's awesome.
Yes. And then our preschool, kindergarten, and 1st grade children, they have learning packets that they have.
Okay.
So that's a little more difficult for them. And it was a little more difficult for their teachers to gather things together. So as soon as we heard, because we're in Ohio, so as soon as we heard Governor DeWine was asking that our schools shut down for 3 weeks, our superintendent had our teachers come in that represented each grade level or each department and start planning lessons for 2 to 3 weeks. And so it was really nice to be able to have that time to come in, plan, and think about what would be the best way to teach our children. Mm-hmm. I know not every district did that, but we are very lucky that we were able to do that. So however your district is going to teach your child, I'm sure that you've been informed or going to be in the process of being informed, because most kids in Ohio were on spring break this past week, and that homeschooling will start probably around March 30th. So here's my big tip.
Okay.
Is once you get how your child is going to be homeschooled and the things that you have to do to have your child turn in their assignments, whether your child's, preschool, kindergarten through 12th grade, Be informed. What is expected of your child? Whether it's a packet that they have to do or their assignment is online, be informed. What is the expectation? Is there going to be a grade that is attached to each assignment that is going to be turned in? Is it a completion grade? Do they get credit if 70% of the questions are answered correctly? Is it just a completion grade no matter how many questions are answered correctly? Be informed. If the expectations for turning in the work you feel are going to be unrealistic for your family, reach out to the teacher right away. Don't wait till the day before or an hour before the assignment is due to reach out to the teacher. Reach out right away and say, this is going to be extremely difficult.
Because I got to think, as teachers, you know that the parents are not maybe able to convey the lessons as well as a teacher would.
Absolutely. That's absolutely
right.
You know, I mean, for me, I don't expect my parents to be teachers. Right. I want them to reach out to me to ask for help if they need it. You know, my niece, while she does well in school, math is not her strong point. Mm-hmm. She needs help with math. And her mom helps her with math in the evenings. Well, her math teacher puts the assignment on at 7:00 in the morning and closes the assignment out at 3:10 in the afternoon at the end of the school day. My sister's a nurse.
Right.
She's an essential worker.
She's a little busy right now.
She is. She does not get home until after 5:00. So here's my niece who's in the 6th grade and is expected to do this assignment on her own. She's home with her brother who's 15. So they're certainly capable of being home alone. They are self-isolating at home. They are not going out. They're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And so she's expected to do this assignment on her own, and it's for a grade. That's unrealistic. So I've encouraged my sister to reach out on Monday to the teacher to ask, could the assignment please not be due until like 9:00 at night? So my sister has some time,
right?
You know, to help, you know, her daughter. In the meantime, you know, she and I are going to try to work on the math on Monday morning over FaceTime to see if I can help her and check the work before she does submit it. That's about the best we can do. And he could very well say, nope, sorry, school hours, the end of it. But I would hope that most teachers would be understanding that these kids are going to need help, that this isn't just a teach themselves kind of thing.
You would hope. Now, you are a fantastic teacher, and you deal with fantastic teachers.
I have wonderful coworkers. I'm so lucky.
You are. What do the parents do when they have like an irrational teacher, like kind of like what we're talking about, who won't help? Won't, you know, work with you on this kind of thing?
The best you can. Honestly, the best you can, because unless your child is in high school, and you may run into this in high school, unless your child is in high school where grades count and you have a transcript, doesn't matter. Let it go. If your child doesn't make honor roll this 9 weeks, if your child, whatever award is out there, whatever, unless they're in high school, who cares? Nothing is going to follow them for the rest of their lives unless they're in high school and they need to have a certain GPA to get into the college of their choice or whatever. If they are preschool through 8th grade, these grades don't matter.
So it's stressful enough right now.
It's too stressful to worry about it. It's
Gotcha.
too stressful to worry about. If you have a teacher that's not cooperating, I'm not saying they're not out there. They are. If you have a teacher that's not cooperating, do the best you can. Tell your child do the best you can, and just don't worry about it.
All right. I'm sorry if I threw you off on a tangent there, but not everybody's like you, a fantastic teacher. So.
That's right. Just don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. So I wouldn't. That's where I'd go with it.
Awesome.
So, but here's my advice as a teacher.
Okay.
With what I would do. I don't have kids that are younger. Our daughter is home from college, not happy about it. She has absolutely loved college life as a freshman. And I'm trying real hard not to mother her too terribly much, because now I've kind of swung back into the whole, you know, is your homework done? Do you have to work on work tonight? And she's just kind of rolling her eyes at me like, I've handled this for a semester and a half. I've got this, Mom. Thank you. But anyway, I would encourage you to at least keep some sort of a routine, if not a schedule. Get up about the same time every day, have your breakfast, have the time that you're going to do your schoolwork, have some sort of a routine in place, because it's really important for kids to have that. Have a designated area in your house where the schoolwork is going to get done, away from the TV, away from the video games, away from the area where they normally, you know, play. Have that designated spot. You don't have to do the schoolwork all at one time. Don't, sit down at 8:00 in the morning and, work for 3 hours. You don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Take a break, because in school we do take a break.
You have lunches and recesses?
We do. We have lunch. We have recess. We have music class. We have library. We have all these little breaks. We take little brain breaks, for 10 minutes, and you can Google those on YouTube. They're just called brain breaks, and, gets the kids up and moving, or sometimes it's a little brain puzzle or something. So do some things, work. If your child's frustrated with a task, step away from it for a little bit, go back to it later. But I would not, make them sit down and do 3 hours worth of work, no matter what their age is, unless that's your child's personality.
Right,
but even then, I probably would, take a break from it every now and then.
Great tip.
And depending on if your child is a morning person and an afternoon person, but at some time during the day, plan for a break, especially if you have multiple children in the house. Plan for a break away from each other, whether it's time to, a half an hour, 45 minutes of looking at books or puzzles or something that they can do away from each other, because they're going to need time away from each other, or they're going to drive each other nuts. I came from a big family and we did drive each other nuts sometimes. And so that's when mom would say, you're in the family room, you're in the living room, you're downstairs in the playroom, you guys go to your rooms, whatever it is. So plan some time, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's,
Right.
This is we're going to have reading time or puzzle time away from each other just for a little bit. Try to get outside every day just for a little bit.
Oh, thank goodness, yes. It's going to be that time of the year where even in Ohio we can get outside now.
Oh, absolutely. Just for a little bit, take a little bit of a walk, do sidewalk chalk in the driveway, or ride your scooter in the driveway, whatever it is. Just go outside, get a little bit of fresh air. Even if it's, 45 degrees, we still go outside for recess at 45 degrees.
yeah.
So if your kids are like, well, it's too cold, you can tell them the recess monitors would have taken you outside. Put your coats on, go outside, march around the driveway, whatever it is. Get that 20 minutes of fresh air in, because they would have had it outside at recess time. Unless it's pouring down rain, they go out. One thing for the parents, don't read everything that you see on social media and think that every other parent out there is doing it better than you're doing.
Oh my goodness.
That they're doing these amazing crafts and they're, doing all these amazing things with their kids. And, you're sitting there thinking, well, I got them fed today. That's about the best I can do. And sometimes that's okay too. But I've been reading the posts on social media and I'm just like, really? Are you kidding me? I don't know that I could have done that.
I think they're probably copy and pasting.
They are.
They didn't really do that.
I'm just like, my goodness. But, maybe with your kids, plan one really fun activity for them to do every single week. That's something that you feel is really manageable. My friend's neighborhood, once a week, they plan something to decorate their windows with. Okay. So they did do the little teddy bear hunt. So they had a teddy bear somewhere in their windows and the kids went around. They live in, it's a dead end street, but it's pretty long.
You might need to explain what the teddy bear hunt is. I'm not sure everybody realizes what that is.
Someone came up with it that they asked their neighbors to put a teddy bear in their window. And then they had the kids in the neighborhood go around to see if they could spot a teddy bear in the window of everybody's house. And they counted how many teddy bears they found on their walk.
Okay.
So something pretty easy. It's nice for the younger kids, especially that are learning how to count. Mm-hmm. So just something fun to do. She had a picture of their decorated window yesterday, but I'm not exactly sure what they were doing. It had flowers and maybe they were counting butterflies. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was, but someone had posted that their neighborhood was organizing, an Easter egg hunt because they actually couldn't do that because they can't have gatherings.
Right.
So they were asking the neighbors to print off a picture of an Easter egg, color it, and then put that somewhere in a window or somewhere on their house. And then on the designated day, they were going to have the neighborhood kids go around and see if they could find the different eggs on the people's houses. Okay. You can do something like that if you live in a neighborhood with lots of young children, but just do something once a week with your kids if you can, to make that memory, whether it is go out and do sidewalk chalk with them or, bake something, cupcakes or something for dessert. or, a bigger activity, but make sure if you promise to do it that you actually do it so that you can do.
Great.
But I wouldn't do something every day because I think that'll get old really, really fast because I don't know about other states, but here in Ohio, we are in it for the long haul and we are just on are we going on week number 3?
Just starting.
We're just starting week number 3. So we're in it for the long haul here. If your child's teacher offers things like Zoom meetings or Google Hangouts, I would definitely encourage your child to participate in those. My school just offered teacher training in Google Hangouts last week. So I don't know that I feel terribly comfortable with that just yet, but my wonderful family, we're going to have a Google Hangout virtual dinner tomorrow night so that I can try it out. So hopefully I will learn how to do that. And then I'm going to do Google Hangouts with my kids. I think just the first couple, we're just maybe going to hang out a little bit. I might read a story to the kids.
Nice.
And then maybe try to do some actual teaching with it. But I think it might take a little bit of time to actually get them to understand that they all can't talk at once. Because I heard from my neighbor who's her child's teacher's using Google Hangouts. And she said with all their microphones open that it was just utter chaos.
Right.
And I know I can mute their microphones, but then I'm like, well, that sort of defeats the purpose because you have to be able to hear their questions.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think it'll work out okay for me because when they built our new building and tore down our old one, through the auction, I was able to get a large dry erase board, which is hung in our basement for years.
Yes.
So I'm like, well, I'm already ahead of the game. I got a dry erase board down there.
You do. We could set you up a little studio down there.
I think so. So I'm going to give that a whirl.
Nice.
And see what happens. But for the first couple times, I think we're truly just going to hang out and see what's going on.
Absolutely. Get everything lined
Get the
up
kids
first.
used to it. Get the kids maybe on some sort of a signal on when they want to speak and whatnot. So
I will say, this is a little tangent, by the way, a little tangent alert related. I saw this online. You may have seen the same thing, where a teacher was doing like something like Google Hangouts with her kids. Mm-hmm. And after she'd get them all online, she would tell the kids, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a couple minutes. And let all the kids kind of chit chat and they would start showing each other things and like conversing among themselves. And they thought the teacher wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So the kids were kind of catching up with each other.
That's cute.
And then she'd come back like, I don't know, 10 minutes later. I don't know what it was. And
they do. They miss each other.
They do. I can only imagine.
Oh, I know. It's just been, my class was so close. They are so kind and so sweet. And
you've said that all year.
I have. I miss them terribly. So I don't know. But anyway, if your teacher offers that, your child's teacher offers that, I would definitely say if you can participate in that. I know my school is going to post all the Google Hangouts that we do. So if your child isn't available while they are doing it live, then maybe watch it later.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Yeah. So that'll be good. Some other things that I would suggest is have your child do some sort of journaling every day, whether it's write a couple sentences if they're young or maybe a paragraph if they're a little bit older about what is going on and what they're feeling about what's happening, because these are very different times and different things that are going on, and you don't want them to forget what's going on. This is something that they'll be able to look back on when they're adults. So have them do some journaling every day, whether it's keeping an online journal, like private, obviously, just with maybe Google Docs or something. Mm-hmm. Or if they're younger, have them draw something every day or take a picture of something that they're doing every day, but make sure that you print that out so that you can save that for them, or make some sort of a time capsule, something that they can add every day. Like I said, whether it's a drawing, a picture, or a journal entry that they've done, and save that for them and give that to them, when they are an adult. Because
that's a great tip, because when these kids grow up in their graduation year, there's going to be a little section in their yearbook about remember the COVID-19
oh yes
in 2020.
Especially for the younger ones.
Right.
So it's just going to be, I journal. I keep a journal. And I'm, in the last couple years, I've been really, really terrible about it, but I've been really faithful about writing what's going on since this all started. Mm-hmm. And something that my kids, I'm sure, will look back on when they're not babies anymore, but something that they'll look back on and hopefully maybe read to my grandkids at some point when we have grandkids. So I would advise, don't get into summer mode too quickly.
Yes.
Even though I'm sure some of you live in states where it's beautiful out, because that's going to lead to the summer blahs and the boredom blahs, and you don't want to get into summer mode too quickly. Try to stay, like I said, with a routine that is more like a school routine. And
would you include bedtime in your school routine?
Oh, absolutely. Keep a bedtime. That's more for the parent sanity than anything.
Go to bed.
Yeah. Keep with the same bedtime routine and just a little bit. So, let's see. Keep in touch with your child's teacher. And not just if your child is struggling or if you have a question. I've had some of my students' parents email me pictures of the kids. And I had one student, they got a new puppy. And so she sent me pictures of the puppy. And I had one family, they went for a hike in one of the beautiful state parks that's near us. And she sent me pictures of her son and some cool things, because I teach math and science, and some cool science things that he had found and some fossils. And it was really cool. And, you see the kids smiling, and I've had some other parents send me a picture here and there, and it just, it really makes my day. So don't underestimate that you think, my kid's teacher doesn't want to see a picture of my kid. Actually, we really do. So, maybe, write a little note to the teacher, miss you, and have your child draw a picture, hold it up, snap a picture, and email it to the teacher. It really does mean a lot. I've been thrilled when I see an email from a parent pop up. I get excited about that, especially when there's a picture attached. I've heard from a lot of the parents, we miss you so much. My child misses you. Just wanted to say hi. I appreciate that a lot. So, don't underestimate a quick little note to the teacher, especially with a picture of your child. So especially, the elementary level, I think elementary teachers are, not that all teachers aren't hurting, but I think the elementary teachers, we get attached pretty easily to our kids.
Yeah, or the kids are clingier in the elementary grades.
Well, it's because they're little.
Right, exactly.
So, they haven't really developed that autonomy just yet.
Yeah.
So I miss them. So, but if you're in need of anything, a lot of school systems have food bag programs for the kids. If your school system does that and you're in need, don't feel afraid to reach out. We've had families that have never needed assistance before that have reached out, and, we are so happy to help.
Yes.
Don't be embarrassed to reach out for help.
Don't be. This is such a strange time for everybody.
It is. And I helped out on Thursday, and it was so good because the kids come by and they wave at you. And so it was great to see them.
Yeah.
So we just, please know that, we're here to help. The schools aren't here to help. And, whatever you need, reach out to your church, reach out to, a social service agency, anything that you need. Don't sit there and not do because you're embarrassed. Just please, there's so many agencies out there that are willing to help. It's just the most bizarre time I think we have ever lived through.
It is. And I mean, who knows? Some people think it'll end in 3 weeks. More realistic people are looking like 2-3 months down the line, which isn't a big time span in actuality, but there's a whole lot that can go on in that 3 months. So
absolutely.
Hopefully everybody can, everybody can take care of each other. And
I know when I left, my kids were just like, we'll see you in 3 weeks. We'll see. I was so optimistic, like,
right.
3 weeks, it'll be fine. We were told to remove all of the stuff like off of our desks and the counters and things so that they could disinfect our buildings. And so, I put that kind of stuff away, and I just haphazardly threw it in cupboards and whatever, not really thinking. And now I'm looking back and I'm like, well, when am I going to get back in my room? When am I going to be able to, unpack for my kids to come back? And then I'm thinking, I don't know that they're coming back.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I don't even want to think like that, because I'm like, what if I don't get to say goodbye for the summer? Right. And I just can't even think like that. But in Ohio, realistically, I don't know. Our last day of school, I think, was supposed to be like May 28th, maybe. I'm not sure. Whatever that last Thursday in May was after Labor Day, or Memorial Day rather. So I don't know. But anyway, but just know that teachers, we're hurting. We're missing your kids. And I'm sure, many kids are missing us. Some kids, I think, are happy. Some are probably excited not to be in school.
Some are probably looking at it like, man, I got lucky this year, so to speak.
So, but, if you have any questions, email them to the, I'm sure you have the
Yeah, just send them to me, Tim at ResortLoop.com. Mm-hmm. I'll forward them to Dawn. If we have enough questions, we'll do a little follow-up show.
We can do that.
I know it's a kind of a non-Disney show, but we got to get this behind us so we can start looking at trips in the future. But
that's right. I said, my heart breaks for everyone who had a spring break trip planned for Disney World or on a Disney cruise. And I said, our family, we took ours last year because Mackenzie was a senior last year. So we did our Disney cruise last year. And
we had the chain going around the house for, was it over a year before?
Oh yeah. Like 400 and some days.
So, you look forward to your trip for 400 days and then something happens that's uncontrollable.
Oh yeah. I just can't even imagine how devastated we would have felt. And, our heart breaks for everyone who had their trip canceled. And now Disney's saying that they're possibly closed indefinitely for the moment.
Yeah, I don't think they want to give any dates and have to either, make them too far out or too close and have,
Right. So, all those, the Disney employees and have everything up in the air right now. I don't know. It's scary, but, be safe out there. Let us know if you have any questions, but most of all, be kind to yourself as parents who are embarking on the homeschooling, if that's what you're starting this week or have already, started in the past weeks. And, if you're struggling, reach out to your child's teacher. Most of all, let your child take the lead on a lot of this. Let your child, show you what they've been doing at school. They're probably, pretty adept at, managing what they're doing at school.
And they probably know more than you think they know.
Probably. Ask them, how do you do this? How does your teacher, because I know the big debate is in this whole math thing and this Common Core and,
oh my goodness.
And
I remember math.
And, there's a lot of funny memes out there right now, but I'm telling you, and while I know Common Core gets a bad rap, especially in math and everything, kids learn in so many different ways, and you're going to learn that your child may not learn the way you learned. Right. And that's why.
That's what I learned.
And that's why as teachers, we do teach them these really bizarre ways to get to an answer.
Yes.
Because what may be right for one child isn't right for the next child. And so let your child teach you for a change. Have your child show me how you would do this. And they might go all around and then eventually come up with the correct answer. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to show them the shortcut. Show them the traditional method. I always tell my kids, your parents are going to say, but I learned it this way. And you tell your parents, that's great. Mrs. Scott will eventually teach us that way too.
There you go.
So, and that's why I always tell my parents, I said, I'm going to teach them that way too. I promise. Just give me some time. It'll be okay.
Everyone's going to make it.
And the bottom line is every child is in the same boat. And as teachers, we know that come fall, when our kids all move up to the next grade, we know what has happened. Right. And we know where we're going to have to start in the fall.
Exactly.
We know it's not going to be where we normally start in the fall.
Nobody's going to be saying this is the first time I'm hearing of this issue.
Exactly. We know we're not going to be able to just to jump right in and be like, oh, hey, we're third graders. We're ready to go. We know we're going to have to say, oh, hey, we're going to have to back up a little bit and make sure that all of our kiddos, get that content, because we know every kid that was at home for this length of time, may or may not have had the same experience. And it's okay. We're going to work with them. We're going to work with every kid. It's going to be okay.
It'll be fine.
It will be. So we're going to love on them in the fall, and we're going to care for them in the fall like we always have. And they're going to be fine because we'll make it okay. And we're going to work with the parents now, and we're going to work with the parents in the fall. And just as parents, let us know if you need anything, because we're there for you. It's still our job. Even though we're not physically in the school building, it's still our job, and we're there.
I think there's going to be a lot of takeaways from this experience that a lot of people are going to learn. And if anything like this happens again, or they go to a little more online learning, they'll have some good resources to look back on.
I think so too. I think the kids are going to come out of this pretty strong. And I think they're going to come out maybe even a little bit more independent for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Could be pretty exciting to see what the kids are doing in the fall.
Absolutely.
So who knows?
In the fall, assuming everything's done for the spring.
Oh, please.
Let's
go back in the fall.
I know. Those kids are going to be excited to go back to school now.
They are. I'm excited to go back, and it's still March. I'm ready. I miss my kids.
Awesome. So we did a little bit of a different show today. I hope you kind of enjoyed it. Hopefully you can get some takeaways from this. Let's keep it a Disney show. If you could go to a Disney resort right now, which one would you go to?
Oh, gosh. Probably Studios, since we haven't been to the new Galaxy's Edge.
That's true. What resort would you stay at?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't been to the Polynesian for a while.
It has been a while.
It's been a while. I don't know, but I always love Riverside and Animal Kingdom.
Oh, it's true.
I don't know. Just put me anywhere. I'll go.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Once again, if you have a question for Dawn, just send it to me, Tim at ResortLoop.com. We'll get those to her. If there's enough for another show, we'll do another show.
Sounds good.
Because this is going to be going on for a little bit. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. Everyone, please go out there and share the Gateway to the Magic. How we wrap up the show.
See you later, everybody.
See you, everybody. Everybody stay safe.
And wash your hands.
Often. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.